Right. Hopefully there's sound now. Definitely stressing out now. We've got fireworks going off, so right, let's see. Am I heard? Is there sound? Is there audio? Let's see. I don't know how to test this beforehand. This is the first time it's happened to me. I'm going to actually take a drink. Brilliant. Perfect. Yes. So, class. What a way to start. So, what I was saying originally, and it was not about my tash, my lustrous tash, that Bart was saying that I should be shaving off. It's probably staying for November, Bart. I'm lucky. It doesn't look great. It's right in the middle. There's no hair. I might need to shave it. It is a little bit embarrassing. But yeah, what I was saying is, I'd like to congratulate. No, I'm to be congratulated. I'd like to say thanks to all you who subscribed, who continually watch, who put input into the channel, and I couldn't have done it without you. And also, hopefully, you can still hear me, is all my Patreons. They provide a lot of support and help me buy bottles as well, help kind of fund it a little bit. Because obviously it is an expensive hobby to have, and I'm continually trying to buy new bottles and get new bottles to review. So yeah. Also, we'll see who's in the chat that I've pretty much already said, but I'll go through it again. We've got Donner Pass Whiskey saying congratulations, thank you very much. Jim as well saying should have happened a long time ago. Yeah, I don't know why it took so long. Maybe my terrible pattern, the fact that I can't work technology, I can't even set up a microphone. But yeah, it is the first time it's happened to me on a live stream, thankfully. Make a dram decision. Yeah, it's very loud. Unfortunately, I've got my dog, Jura, and also the cat. It's the cat's first firework night, and he's freaking out. So I gave him some catnip to try and stone him. Not stone him as in throw stones at him, but get him stoned, chill him out. But my fiance's downstairs with him, and I honestly thought I was going to have to cancel tonight because of how stressed they were, and it was kind of stressing us out. But hopefully it's okay. But basically, at any minute, Louise could come through the door and say, "I'm stressing out so much. Please come and help me." Because yeah, it's a bit of a shame. I really think, honestly, since having pets, that fireworks should not be available to the public. Should only be for events, because we've got a park just across the road and they're going mental, and I can hear Jura downstairs barking away. So we've got Dave Hong in as well. How's it going, fellow Patreon? We've got Bart, who's a Patreon, and also Matt here. I got confused because it said multi-haggis muncher. I was just completely having a blank there, Matt. We've got Benny as well, who's Patreon. Nothing wrong with a quiet live stream now and then. Yeah. This isn't going to be anything too pompous. I've basically just wanted to say thanks. I wanted to have a wee drink, have a wee chat, see what everybody's up to. But yeah, nothing too serious. And I've got some bottles that I wanted to open as well. One bottle that means a little bit to me, only because of probably what it means to someone else, and also because they have had a baby. So I wanted to open it to celebrate that, to wet the head. I don't know if that term goes around, because I don't know if Bart, if you were being funny in the chat or if you've actually heard that term before, but wetting the baby's head, so having a drink for a newborn baby being born. So yeah, I want to get a drink to that, and I've got just the dram for that. So yeah, congrats on 1K subs. Well, that and getting the sound working. Yeah, yeah, I finally got there. So yeah, I'm going to start with a bottle that's actually already open. I've had one dram out of it, but as you can tell, there's more than one dram out of that. This I had in Pitlochry with me. I took it to our wedding venue because we were celebrating a year to the wedding date. So yeah, it's the Society Springbank members bottle, fresh sherry. They previously released one with a fresh bourbon. This is fresh sherry, and I gave a dram to the good people in Drinkmonger, the whiskey shop up there, also to Ewan and Robertson's, and I think that might have been it. But yeah, as you can see, it's had a decent bit out of it. So yeah, Dave says he's at work, but he's listening but not participating. Well, it's good to have you. Hopefully the chat makes sense without any sign language being needed, or any hand movements. But yeah, I'm going to pour this, get this pop. Oh, beautiful. And I'm in a different room as well tonight. Slightly different room. Wait, this is the other spare room, just because I think it's a bit easier to set up. But it's always strange getting set up in a different room that's not the same one, because you have a certain way of doing things and getting set up. But yeah, get sniffing into this. I really like the nose in this. It's extremely aromatic on the nose. I'm not going to do any notes or anything because I will. Oh my god, that was a big one. I will do a review of this at some point, hopefully soon. But from what I've had, which is only 1 dram, I feel like the bourbon's a little bit better. I mean, the Springbank character isn't too drowned out, but it's still Springbank completely not taken over, but completely matured and fresh sherry. So it is a lot of sherry. Yeah, but yeah, it's still it's a good dram. And I'm drinking. I don't know what everybody else is drinking. If anybody else has got any drams, any celebratory drams. I've got Wasted Degrees, who are local to Blair Athol, Pitlochry. I don't know if they're originally from Perth, the guys, but they originally started in Pitlochry and then moved to Blair Athol. Big advocate of them, small microbrewery. I really enjoy their stuff. This is the Diamond Weizen, which is a wheat beer. So I've got that in the glass, in the the Guinness glass, which clearly is not Guinness. And it's nice, it's tasty. So yeah, it'd be good to know what everybody else is drinking. Yeah, I wanted to talk about the channel as well, where I was going to go with the channel. Andrew, I was speaking to Andrew Wallace, the sales. I can't remember his full title, so sorry, Andrew, if you are watching or if you do catch this. But he works with Janie Mitchell. He does a lot of tastings, and he was saying, "Oh, you'll now be monetized on YouTube." And yeah, it does come, but I think you need so many watch hours, and I don't think I have so many watched hours. I think it's something like 4,000 or 3,000 watched hours in the year. And if I was to share my analytics now, which I rarely go into because I know bugger all about analytics and search, someone calls it SOE, search something, anyway, some algorithm to get your channel bigger. But yeah, I don't know anything like these things. I don't know if any other YouTubers or if there's any watching that are watching that have or are into analytics know more about it. But yeah, he was saying about getting monetized, and it's never been about the money anyway. Doing a channel, basically the main reason for doing my channel was because I work away, I come home for weeks at a time, and I've got nothing else to do. Yes, there's loads of chores, housework and all that, walking the dog, but yeah, there's only so much you can do or so much you can procrastinate with before you start a YouTube channel. And also, yeah, I had a lot of whiskey, and I kind of wanted to share the more exclusive or independent whiskies, rare whiskies, whatever you want to call them, ones that don't normally get opened or normally spoke about. So yeah, I wanted to get them open and share them with people, because if people can't afford them or don't have access to them, then hopefully they can experience it through me. So that was the whole reason for starting the channel in the first place, and definitely not for any monetary value. But the hitting the 1,000 subscribers was pretty cool. It's a goal that has taken, I say a goal, it's just a thing that's taken a long time. Many people have surpassed me. I believe Whiskey Novice, Jim Ingram, even Kevin Grant Kevin Grant, and Jeff Whiskey. Those three in particular, they started just before me. I know. Oh yeah, there's Jim. Hello, Jim. My mic could not get my mic to go. I was just, yeah, leave me out of it. I was just saying, do you ever look at like analytics and is it SOE? I can't remember what it stands for. Some sort of search of, I don't know. I can't remember what it stands for. But do you look into stuff like that? Is that something you kind of keep on track of, because it's something I look at analytics now and then on the YouTube app, but nothing ever in depth, or nothing enough to understand it. I've got no understanding, or at least a basic understanding of the analytics. But yeah, so it has been a long time coming. And honestly, I don't know the reason for it. The channels that have surpassed me are good, and there's no denying that. Obviously, Jim's in here, so I'm not going to slate him. But yeah, I don't know what took so long, but it's good to be here. It feels like I'm in a club. It feels like I'm in a special club. I kind of want like a badge now, like a YouTube badge or something like that, just to say that I'm in this club. But yeah, so Andrew from Springbank was kind of discussing that with me. I was at a tasting with him on, what night are we now? Tuesday night. So last Wednesday, I was on a tasting with Andrew. There was a couple of guys there, and the first time meeting EC Whiskey on Instagram. Really nice guy. Some of the bottles he opens is outstanding. He opens some very exclusive and very expensive bottles. Hello Gav, no issue being late. How's it going? Another person who started before me and hit the 1,000 subscriber mark, but definitely kudos to Gav. If you haven't checked Gav's channel out, you definitely should. I was at a tasting with Andrew Wallace, Kilkerran tasting. I've got the sheet with me because my memory is, I don't know if it's the drink. I say this as a joke and I hope it's not the drink, but I think I've just always had a terrible memory. I don't know if this will be a mirrored image. No, that looks, I don't know how focused that'll be or how blurry that'll be, but these are the whiskies we had at the tasting. So the first one was actually a Kilkerran 12-year-old that we just got like handed at the door. So we had 7. So the next one was, I don't know which finger's which. This Kilkerran 16-year-old, which, yeah, really good. The Kilkerran 8-year-old cask strength, 100% bourbon. That was very tasty. I enjoyed that. The Kilkerran 14-year-old refill rum. Now, I like rum, but I thought it was okay, but I thought the rum had actually imparted a little bit too much on the Kilkerran. So this is actually a cage bottling that you have to pick up from the distillery. So they didn't have that on sale. All they had on sale were the Kilkerran 16, the 12, and the heavily peated, which was a benefit of, I just burped there, a benefit of going to the tasting. You got the heavily peated early. You could buy it early than the actual release. So the next dram was this Kilkerran 19-year-old refill bourbon warehouse tasting. I'd already tried this at the Kilkerran warehouse tasting when the Tappstaff International Bottle Split Group, when we visited Kilkerran and Campbelltown, and it was fantastic. I actually bought the younger version of it, which I believe was triple distilled. The 18-year-old, I found it just somehow better. There was something I thought better about it, so I bought that, but I still enjoyed it, this 19-year-old, and this 19-year-old was actually my favourite on the night of the Kilkerran. My least favourite, surprisingly, was this Kilkerran 17-year-old refill sherry single cask for the USA, for the US market. So I'm not sure what put me off about this. Maybe the refill sherry, I don't know. I wanted to like it because it was a single cask 17-year-old Kilkerran, but it just didn't do it for me. It could have been any like sherry peated whiskey. I don't know. It 57.3%, so not chill filtered or anything like that, not diluted. It was just, I didn't enjoy it. And then the Kilkerran heavily peated batch 11, 90% bourbon and 10% sherry, 57.9% ABV. So I had the batch 1 years and years ago. I remember when it first came out. I remember where it was. I've maybe spoke about it before. I was in Woodwinters in Bridge of Allen. I went through to meet Grant, who was through there doing a kind of in-shop tasting of the whiskies. And it was the first, I'd seen Kilkerran before, the cask strength, the previous year, which was the first year of the Kilkerran cask strength 8-year-old. And then the second year was when I went through to Bridge of Allen. So I'd seen Kilkerran before, but I wasn't clued up in it at all. And I went through, spoke to Grant, and got to try the heavily peated batch 1. And the heavily peated batch 1, I believe I've got a sample of it. I just loved it. I remember it being like buttery, popcorn or butterscotch and just proper lovely, oily, brilliant bourbon cask, unreal. And I do miss it. And since then, I've had the batch 2, the batch 3, possibly the batch 4, and I didn't think they were anything as good. Whereas this batch 11, 90% bourbon, 10% sherry, it was actually enjoyable. And if I wasn't spending money for Christmas, I'm waiting for Christmas, I don't want to buy any more whiskey because I've got too much, I would have bought that, hands down. That would have been the one I bought. So like I said, you had the option to buy the 12-year-old Kilkerran, the 16-year-old, or the Kilkerran heavily peated batch 11, and that is the one that I would have bought out of those three, because I thought it was brilliant. It was, I think that came, no, it was third. So my first on the night was the Kilkerran 19-year-old, the second was the 8-year-old cask strength bourbon, and the fourth was the heavily peated. I'm pretty sure that was the lineup. Yeah, Arran. It's a whiskey or a distillery that I've had bottles of, or I've got bottles of. I've got the, if you've seen my closed collection video, I've got the Smugglers and the Explorers. I've tried the first 2 Explorers at a pub. I've also had the Arran Coty Roti, if that's how you pronounce it. And I've had a few Arrans, but I struggle to go for Arran. There's been some single casks that have been fantastic. But yeah, I don't believe I've had the quarter cask. I really need to go back and do a kind of rewind of, or refresh of, kind of supermarket whiskies and more core range whiskies, because I'm doing a lot of independent bottles at the moment, but there's nothing wrong with that. I love independent bottles. So yeah, Jim's saying he doesn't really look into analytics. You're here for the enjoyment of it. Yeah, I think it is. I'm speaking to a few people in the YouTube industry, and there are people that get right into it, but it's I think you just not enjoy it. It'd almost be like a job. Then that's kudos to Roy as well, because I know Roy's obviously he's doesn't have a job anymore, or he has a job. He's doing Dramface and the Oswas and his channel. But yeah, I've always wondered if it would get to a kind of laborious point if you're actually doing it for money and for an income. Yeah, there's channels running away past mine, which I don't get, but obviously it's for some. Yeah, I think there are channels that do things maybe a little differently, and aren't always about the whiskies or the reviews, and sometimes that can be a bit confusing. It's almost as if the whiskey's a second thought, and whatever else is the forefront. But yeah, let's see. In that shot, rubbing that tash the way you do, Phil, you're like, yes, some sort of whiskey, Dr. Evil. Well, it was funny. I was thinking to myself when I was looking, so when I look down, that's when I can see myself and I can see the comments. When I look at the camera, I can't see. Anyway, so yeah, I was looking at myself, I can't remember what it was the other day, and I was thinking of Sonic the Hedgehog and Dr. Eggman. I mean, he's a lot podgier and a bit fatter. Not the Jim Carrey version, the one from the actual Sega, like the Mega Drive or whatever. And I was thinking, do I look like him? If I get some like goggles here, would that just be Dr. Eggman? Or is it Dr. Robotnik? Did he go by 2 names? Anyway, the villain in Sonic. So yeah, I need to try and stop rubbing it. But like I said, like I can't grow in here. This has been... So I had, like, when I'll go to work, I can't be bothered shaving because it's just a waste of time and no one sees my face really, or no one important. So yeah, I tried to grow a beard and it looks puby. It comes out exactly like this tash, like just stringy nonsense. And I decided when I was at work that I would shave it to firstly annoy the missus, but then I was like, you know what, I'm just going to keep it for the fun of it. But yeah, it's horrid. There's I'm not deluded. There's definitely something weird about it. Does the tash mask the tasting of the whiskey? It's not that big. It's not that big a tash. So no, it doesn't. But I have noticed for the first time in my life, like I said, I try growing a beard, but I always shave it off. I usually keep like a little bit of stubble, but yeah, anyway, for the first time in my life, I had crumbs in my face hair, beard, moustache, whatever you want. But yeah, I had crumbs and under my nose. That's I don't know how I got crumbs up there. Don't ask me. But yeah, it won't be staying. I mean, it might be staying. I don't know. Yeah, he's right. Yeah, it doesn't. Just go long enough and tie a knot in the middle to connect the two sides. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's absolutely mental. Like if I just go like that, it's the same when I grow hair. Like it's just I like how this has changed from a whiskey chat to just pure nonsense about facial hair. But yeah, I can't grow hair here. When I do grow like facial hair, it's just bald there. It's just a bald patch. Al, yes. How's it going? Hope you're well, mate. Thank you. Thanks for the congratulations. You need to let me into your club now, into your 1,000 subscriber club. I don't know how many you've got now. You must have 10,000. I honestly don't know. But yeah, it's good to be part of the 1,000 club. Beards are overrated. Yeah, I don't know how you live. In all honesty, Jim, I don't know how you survive. Like that must take so much maintenance, and yeah, food getting in it. I mean, I've only had the tash for a short period, not that long, and it's already had food in it, and it was very annoying. I kind of wanted to joke that I was saving food for later, but it was just disgusting. So yeah, I'm not a self-conscious person, but I feel like if I had a beard, I'd be struggling to eat. Every time I eat, I'd be wanting to go to the mirror to check that I've got anything in. Or does your wife just lovingly tell you, here, you look like a knob, you've got crumbs everywhere? I don't know, but yeah, I don't know if I could trust the missus. I think she would just leave it in for the laugh. She would just say, yeah, you look fine, you've got nothing there. Yeah, thanks a lot. Cheers. I do have, I don't know if I should just show it now. I did try and get more people, but some people didn't respond, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. People are busy. But yeah, I thought I would ask around if people could toast to me and to 1,000 subs and ask them what they thought of Whiskey Whims as a channel and that kind of stuff. So hopefully this works and you can see everybody. So I'll play that now. And yeah, this is the people saying congratulations.
Whiskey Whims has made it to 1,000 subs. Who would have thought? Anyone out there? Hello? Did anyone? Anyone? I've got no replies. I don't think anyone thought he would make it to 1,000 followers. Whiskey Win or Whiskey Bin. I like the sound of the letter, the Whiskey Bin style stuff. You've done it. Woohoo. Party for you. Congratulations to our stew.
Congratulations to Whiskey Whims on reaching 1,000 subscribers. Well done, mate. Whoever you are.
Here, do you remember Stuart Whiskey Whims?
Yeah.
See, he's finally had 1,000 subs.
Oh, didn't he start before you?
Yeah, but nobody could ever understand what he was talking about.
Whiskey Whims. Yeah, he's just always looking for free stuff. Definitely never comes into the shop bringing us amazing drams from incredible bottles that he's opened and just shares them and doesn't expect anything in return. Definitely never does that.
So I hope I hope you could hear that. Yeah, hopefully you could hear that because I don't get any feedback. I don't know how other streamers do it. Jim, you'll need to let me into your secrets. Streamers, YouTubers or whatever. I don't know how they do it live and they can see sound or they can see another stream or if they just listen to it. But yeah, when I listen to it, it gets all echoey. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah. Jim saying she looks like that. Yes. I didn't realise it was a beard. Well, now that you've brought it to my attention, yeah, I would seriously love. I mean, I know we don't see each other that much, but I would love to just bump into you in the wild with no beard, because I don't even think I'd recognise you. But yeah, that's a question as well. Are you going to the Glasgow Whisky Festival this year? Too funny, yeah. So hopefully that worked. yeah, I tried to get some other people, but some people didn't respond in time or whatever. But there's nothing wrong with that. Some people are busy, but Jim was brilliant. Jim was one of my favourites. I did like Justine's. In fact, everybody's was good. But yeah, Jim put a lot of effort into that. No, I'm not. So next weekend, I am this Saturday, which I think's the Whiskey Festival. I'm going to look at kilts and stuff for my wedding, which is next year. It's ages away. But we're just going to have a look. A bit of a boys' day out with the family. My dad's flying over from Spain. One of my brothers is coming up from Wales. And then my other brother and Louise, my girlfriend, my fiance's dad. And we're all going to Edinburgh to look at kilts and things. So yeah, that's what I'm doing Saturday. I'm guessing you're going. You're going to first session or second session if you are going. I would have liked to go, and I enjoyed it last year. I believe it was last year I was there, or the year before. Must have been last year. It wasn't my favourite festival. It was good. I think it's got a lot more meaning to the barflies and to that kind of group, which is fine. But for my group and the people I drink whiskey with, we much prefer, and as you've seen Justine on the channel, absolutely love Justine and Karen. We much prefer Fife Whiskey Festival. It's just, I don't know. I just, there's something about it. Well, that was a very big firework. Yeah. Yeah. Justine was a good sport. She was brilliant. Yeah, thanks a lot. Hope you're doing well. Hope you've got a dram. I'm currently drinking. I don't know what everybody else is drinking except from Make a Dram Decision. I believe has got the Aaron. I'm all over the place at Scatty. Where are we going? Is Scatty the right word? Yeah, Scatty. So yeah, I've got this in my glass. Oh, the Springbank 5-year-old. It's good. It's Springbank. It's sherried. There's nothing. Is it funky? I don't know. There's something there, but no, it's not a bad whiskey. It's just maybe a bit not what I'm looking for in a Springbank, but it's good. That's yeah. The mustache is getting a lot of heat tonight, if you can call it that. I actually went out with my friend and his fiance. We went out as a couple to sing in Edinburgh on Saturday night, and I had to ask him. Like, so what do you think of the mustache? And because of the lights and stuff, and because I was blonde when I had hair, it's quite fair. It's very fair. And yeah, he didn't really see the mustache at first. He didn't notice it, or he was just taking the piss. Probably the latter. But yeah. Yeah, I hope you have a good time, Alan. Like I say, it is beer first. It is a good festival. I felt if I was to critique it, like I enjoyed it, but if I was to critique it, I would say that it's too big. The good thing about Fife Whiskey Festival being on the 2 floors is there's a decent amount of space, and I also feel like you can get around them a bit easier. Almost, maybe it's because it was my first time, but I almost felt lost at the Glasgow Whiskey Festival just because of the vast, the vastness of it. It was so spread out, and I only got to about, maybe this was just my fault, but I felt it was so busy, and I only got to about, I don't know, 6-8 stalls, if that. Maybe not even that, maybe less. But yeah, I don't know what your thoughts are on it. Do you think it's quite busy? Quite a busy festival, quite cramped, even though the size of it. But yeah, you finally asked, like, oh, congrats. Yeah. Last year, last October 2023. Yeah, I was trying to get that right, but I think it is right. October 2023. So yeah, it's pretty much a year to the date. Looking forward to it. Yeah, that's that. I was thinking, no matter how I say that, it's going to sound sarcastic, but I just made it so much worse. No, I am looking forward to it. We're planning things and getting things. Like I said, not want to spoil anything, but I'm hopefully getting some wasted degrees at the bar on tap, because it's in Pitlochry or Blair Athol, so it'll be supporting the local brewery. We're looking to buy a lot of, or get a lot of local stuff, like local cake, local florist and all that from there, because we're not actually from Pitlochry, we're about an hour and a half from it. But yeah, it's I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, definitely. So thanks. 2 congratulations in one night. I think we can still manage a few whiskies on Saturday. Yeah. Oh, right. I didn't realise it was. Oh, Jesus. That's embarrassing. So aye, that's my brother, who I did not click just until then. I honestly thought, Chris, you need to. I don't like the Chrissy. I honestly thought it was. I thought it was a lass. I thought it was a bird. I'm trying to scroll back when what you said, because I did not click. No, I didn't click at all. All right, so yeah, my brother's in the chat. So hi, everybody say hi. Does the Tash mask the tasting of the whiskey? Oh Jesus, Chris. So yeah, congrats on getting hitched and for the 1,000 subs. Yeah, thanks a lot, Mark. Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate your support. You've been like a day one. You've been there the full time. So yeah, thanks, especially to the Tabes group. What we have in that Tabes group is special. It does mean a lot. Good socializing group. Good group with a lot of interesting people in there. A lot of different opinions, but also sharing that common interest. So yeah, I don't want to get too much. Don't want to get too emotional. Am I the only bloke without a kilt on that wedding then? I mean, I wouldn't be disappointed if you didn't wear a kilt, but I wouldn't be adverse to you wearing a kilt. If you wanted to wear a kilt, hire it. That would be pretty cool. There's no issue with that. There's an English guy coming up, Phil. You'll probably meet him. He's looking to buy a kilt, or not buy a kilt, but hire a kilt. So yeah, if you want to wear a kilt, you can wear a kilt. Yeah. Stu's not big on the Irish, no. Chrissy. I did not click there. So that is that's my first dram pretty much gone. Num num num. The first bottle I'm going to open is congratulations to, although this night should be all about me, one of the Tabes guys decided to have a baby, so he's probably not joining in tonight. But yeah, I don't want to say too much. Well, I've already said it, but I did ask if I could congratulate him, but I mean, the baby's born, so yeah, the cat's out of the bag. But yeah, so yeah, I wanted to say congratulations, and my way of congratulating this person, most people will figure it out anyway, is by opening this bottle. So yeah, I'm going to open this. Can we see it? 11 years old, 7 sons, to congratulate that person there. So do most Scots own kilts? No, they're extortionate. They're almost like the same price of wedding dresses for the full get-up. Let me just get this plastic off. So you've got the kilt itself. The shirts are relatively cheap, so is the socks. But the shoes, the jacket, the kilt, the sporn, and even the ski and do. The ski and do, that's the only part of the kilt I've bought so far. And I bought it years ago, and it was about £90. I mean, it's nice. I've got it in this cupboard, actually, but I'm not going to pull out a knife. Pull out a shank, but it's got like an antlers horn on it, pretty cool. But yeah, it's an expensive get-up, so not a lot of people own them. We tend to hire them, and this keeps a business, keeps the kilt. Oh, my leg's getting numb. Keeps a company in business for kilt hiring. So yeah, not a lot of people own kilts. I think I would look into buying my own kilt for the wedding, depending on how I feel. And how much money I've got, because like I said, they're absolutely extortionate, and the wedding dress should be the most extravagant thing for me. It should be the thing that stands out, so I don't think a kilt needs to stand out too much. Yeah, could you imagine me with a like hat, like feather in it, bagpipes, something off a shortbread tin or something, big sash, totally showing up the bride, totally showing up my fiance. No, that would be bad. So yeah, that's to answer your question. No, the most Scots don't own their kilts. Yes, wasn't sure whether they had the Wayne or not. Now I can contact him. Yeah, they've had the Wayne. They've had the wee fella. I'm sure it's a wee fella. Don't tell him I told you. So we'll get this open, this popped in celebration for him. There we go. I always feel weird about like congratulating people, or at least I suppose this is different because this is on a social media platform. But yeah, maybe my bad. But yeah, I never know the etiquette, the right thing to do. But I wanted to toast him anyway, so here we go. I'm looking forward to this. His blend. I was trying to see if it gave you a makeup of what was in it, because I know the other whiskies say like 40% malt or 60% malt, but this doesn't look like it says it on it. But yeah, a mixture of first and refill sherry cask and refill bourbon, been married together in a European oak fill, batch 1, aged 11-year-old, and 46.7% ABV. So nice healthy ABV, and everything I've had from Seven Sons, even though I've got a connection to them, and I'll always disclaim that, has been brilliant. Oh, wow, that's weird. That's like so. It's like perfume. It's honestly like I've probably said perfume before. I need to move this get up. There we go. I need my foot down. Oh, it's on the side of the. There we go. Yeah, I've probably said perfume before, but this like reminds me, or maybe not perfume. It could even be like I don't know. Fiance buys a lot of bath bombs. There's just something fruity, floral. I think it definitely needs respect. It needs time to check out what's actually there. But being generic, I want to say Parma Violets is just very fragrant, like perfumey. Maybe it's the tash. Maybe it's the moisture of the beard oil on the tash. Right. And then maltier and oatier, a little spicy in the palate. I don't know how well that'll show, but the legs are. Looks nice. But a completely different palate, I feel. The nose is brilliant. So yeah, here's to the baby. So yes, it's expensive, but you save on underwear. Yeah, I don't think I've ever worn underwear under a kilt. I don't know where that comes from, true Scotsman. Bart, I'm sure you'll be able to enlighten me. If anyone can enlighten me, you'll be able to. Bart's knowledge of history is second to none. But yeah, I'm not sure where the origin of that comes from. Maybe back when we were in Celtic tribes and underwear was just pointless. But yeah, I don't wear underwear. It's actually so freeing. The wind, the chill, it's good. And plus kilts are quite heavy, quite a heavy garment, and they pretty much heat you up anyway. There's a lot of hotness there. So having that freedom, and I don't know why I said freedom, like bloody Mel Gibson. But yeah, having that freedom there is great. And the best thing about it is when you go to pee, going to the urinal and be able to just lift it up. But then that gets you thinking, like when you hire a kilt, how many other men's genitalia has been on that kilt? This is taking a weird turn. Why do these always take weird turns? It's because I'm just rambling. But yeah, so the channel, the future, I think I want to get back to the Drowning In. If you've seen those series, they're a wee bit cringy. The short series, shorts that I do on YouTube, I think I've only done 10 of them. It's basically, because I've got so many samples, and I get a lot of samples sent to me from friends, and also from the Taves groups. And it's basically a way to get through those samples and also to share them in a minute format, bite-sized format. And it was called the Drowning In because I'm drowning in samples. But I don't really, it's quite hard to say what a whiskey tastes like, smells like, and has finished like in a minute. And I've seen other people's formats, and it's just very quick. And I'm not really used to that and enjoy that type of format on media. Like I can't stand TikTok, even Instagram. It's so easy to get into a loop. You go on Instagram and you just get all these shorts, all these reels, and it's the same with YouTube. The amount of people that I see on YouTube just going through shorts, but it seems the way things are going. So I don't know what that format would look like, but I do want to get back to doing the Drowning In because I've got so many samples, because I want to share some of the samples. But yeah, it's trying to get that nailed down to actually what it looks like and how quickly I can describe a whiskey, because I don't want to just sniff the whiskey and be like, that's good. But maybe that's what that format needs. Maybe it just needs quick, short tasting notes, and then whether I like it or not. But yeah, I also want to do, and I've said it for a while, his seat is not comfy. This is like one of the most uncomfortable. It's actually a stool from my fiance's vanity unit or makeup dress table. I think I got in trouble for calling it a vanity unit last time because it's an American phrase. But I wanted to do, like I said before, I wanted to do a live series format of talking to shops, different shops, and kind of structure it in a way that what makes that shop different, what makes a good shop, what they think makes a good shop, what they maybe think makes some shops struggle or not as good as other shops. But yeah, I wanted to spend some time and focus on not that necessarily they need it, but give attention to shops, because these are the places that are supplying us with the whiskey, supplying us with the goods. And obviously I wanted to focus on independent shops. I'm not going to phone up Whiskey Exchange or Master Malt, a big faceless conglomerate like that. But no, the small shops, and even certain shops that have, like I would like to talk to Drinkmonger and Pitlochry just because I know they're a chain, they're a kind of franchise, but the people there, they're always great. And I think the people that work in these shops deserve a little bit of credit too. So yeah, I would like to do a series that focuses on shops, something that it's difficult because when you do this, you want to do something that kind of gives back. I don't mean give back. It sounds so pretentious, but something that helps the community or helps people deciding things. Because yeah, I think having a reliable and good shop that you can go to is gold dust. It's so it's invaluable. Having someone that you can rely on for that whiskey, that relationship with. And also just supporting each other, supporting the shops. But yeah, thanks a lot. I believe it's Phil. I get confused with the names so very easily. But yeah, cheers. It's been a long time coming. I keep saying that. I shouldn't say that anymore. But it's been a long time coming. Jim saying would love a kilt. I've worn it a couple of times. Us Ingrams were septs of the Colquhoun clan, who still sit on seat, I believe, in Luss, Loch Lomond. Love their tartan. My great granddad was one. I won't ruin the tartan for you then, like I've done for my soon-to-be father-in-law. But yeah, tartans. I love wearing a kilt. And yeah, I've a lot of people get a bit precious about non-Scots wearing a kilt. I think Americans like to wear a kilt, but I've got no issue. People say like, oh, you shouldn't let English people wear kilts, but we'll adopt them. We'll adopt anyone. We should be a very welcoming nation, and we are a welcoming nation, as Scots, and everybody looks good in a kilt. Also, yeah, like the women like it, if you know what I'm saying. Went off on one there. Back to what you're saying. Stick at what you're doing, mate. Aye, no, it's fine. This format, my streams are always just chilled, looking to get looking to get people in the chat talking, and I want it to be a format. I'll say it's talking to Stevie about this as well, my soon-to-be father-in-law. Ours, like when we do streams together, they're almost us chatting, and then obviously chatting with the chat, and that's all I want it to be. I don't want it to get. I mean, it would be great if there were so many people, but it's better this. Like, I don't know, it just feels a bit more intimate. Feels like you're just in the pub chatting, and that's what I want it to feel like, because it can get so daunting, so nervous when you're just speaking to a camera and no one else is speaking back. Lowlanders shouldn't wear kilts, damn it. Yeah, so yeah. Yeah, we shouldn't, but hey ho, let alone the red coats or the Yanks. Yeah, you stick to your clogs. You're still to tell us or Google where the true Scotsman comes from, where not wearing underwear under your kilt comes from. Yeah, Stevie's not been in a while. It's he's actually drinking less. So he's been a bit more. I was going to say boring. How terrible would that be? Someone's looking out for their health. That's very boring. No, he is somewhat drinking less. He still enjoys a dram. He's still drinking a dram. There's no health concerns. He's not dying. I better get that out of there before he starts getting letters through his door. No, he's even started drinking, dare I say it, non-alcoholic beer. But the only reason he was going to join on the stream, but my week is somewhat became busier than it was going to be. So Tuesday was the best night for me to do the live stream, and he works Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. He works half a week as he's semi-retired. So yeah, Stevie's doing well. He did have an operation. I don't know why I'm laughing. It's just he was in a lot of pain, and that shouldn't make me smile. He was in some pain, and he had an operation, and he's a lot better now. Healed, quite a standard operation. Obviously, he would, if he was here and I was laughing, he'd be fine with it. But yeah, he's doing good. Looking forward to the weekend with him and with my family. Yeah, it'll be good. We'll probably have a couple of drinks there too. So yeah, he's definitely not off the sauce, and he will be back on here at some point. Hopefully we'll be round at his, because it's a lot comfier. He's actually got a dedicated whiskey room. I could probably have a dedicated whiskey room. I don't know why I'm whispering. It's because I don't want Louise to hear. But my house takes up so much whiskey as it is. So having a room dedicated to whiskey would probably be pushing it. But yeah, his room's a lot comfier. I'm enjoying this blend. This 7 doors, 7 Sons from 8 doors. The light's a little bit off-putting, but it's, like I said, very extremely aromatic, extremely fragrant, perfumey. I've got another one open. Can't remember which blend, and I've got one in the cupboard waiting for me. But like I said, I've not been disappointed by any of these 7 Sons blends. They're just fantastic. I think what they're doing up there is good. It's a sign of things to come. I've tried 2 different styles of their new make and enjoyed both. New make isn't always an indicator. I mean, it's supposed to be an indicator, but obviously there's things they can do, dodgy things they can do after it's been in a cask, or even before it goes into cask, chill filter and all that stuff. But no, the new make's good stuff, and I have got high hopes for this distillery. There's a lot of concern at the moment with the whiskey industry and how things are going, but I think if what's been coming out of here is anything to go by, then I've got high hopes for this distillery surviving and thriving as long as things keep going the way they're going, and keep the people in place that are in place, because it's fantastic. Yeah, like I said, I don't know nearly as much about whiskey as other people, but this I think is going places. Yeah, that's what I think. In all honesty, even though it's run by a friend, I don't believe that that's influencing anything. I just have high hopes in their ability and their strength when it comes to producing and making, distilling whiskey. So yeah, it's an army thing, a sign of toughness. So not having pants under the kilt. Afraid of Nothing. I don't know when it became the way. Probably when the whole Highland Guard became so popular and a national thing. Yeah, it seems a funny thing to be very tough, like not having pants on, like just showing your willy and showing your ass. Like that's I suppose it is. Is it tough? I mean, those Scottish days when it's absolutely freezing outside and your little man decides to crawl. This is disgusting. Decides to, yeah, you know what I'm saying. I don't know if that would look tough. A wee nib. Where am I going? We missed Stevie One for the road, falling asleep with their bellies exposed. Brilliant onesie pajamas. Yeah. He definitely brings a certain aura to the channel, and he does help me chill out a lot more. I've become a lot better at these, doing them solo and things, and even having guests on. Even having guests on can be quite, people like you know but you don't know, can be quite daunting. But having Stevie definitely relaxes me, and I know he can hold a conversation pretty well. So it's good to have him there, even if he does go. I mean, I go off in tangents, but he goes off in tangents a lot more than I. But it'll be good to have him back when we can get him back. I'm not sure when that'll be. Hopefully soon. I always say I want to do more lives, but I don't want to say it's an ordeal. It's a lot to set up and put aside. I mean, it is only a couple hours. But yeah, it's different. Yeah. Got to move on, mate. Stay the course. Who cares who's watching? Cheers. Yeah, this is fantastic. I think as well, it was only £40 or something. I mean, it is a blend, whether that means less to people, 11-year-old, but 46.7% non-chill filtered natural colouring, £40. More in the blends. But I've definitely found myself buying a lot more blends, and Seven Suns has been an outlet, a place that I go for blends, as well as Thompson Bros. Thompson Bros at the moment are kind of hitting out of the park for me. I reviewed their spirit drink. It's kind of a funky dram, but a wee bit too pricey for what it is. I understand it's got blended malt in there from 1969, which is incredible. But the experience of the I was going to say whiskey, but the drink just wasn't there. Wasn't worth the £85, unfortunately. But you win some, you lose some. I mean, like I say, Caden Heads, like Caden Heads, I love them as an independent bottler, but not everything they produce is great. No one's going to produce everything bang on every time. And neither Springbank. Sometimes Springbank don't hit the mark. I mean, some of the over-sherried releases, I don't really understand. I do enjoy them, and I think they're good. But for geeks, if you will, for whiskey enthusiasts, heavy whiskey enthusiasts, it seems, I don't know, strange to just fire something so good into sherry and almost dominate it. I mean, the Springbank character is bold and strong enough to uphold, to withstand sherry, but it does seem strange that they go down that avenue so often. Even like a split, I don't know why they go for fresh sherry or first fill sherry a lot, but yeah, I don't run a huge successful company distillery like that. It was quite interesting. Andrew telling us things about Springbank, nothing lucrative, nothing mysterious, but saying things like when I'm going to call him Mr. Right, because that's what Andrew called him. The owner, the late owner of Janie Mitchell, when he was passing, or before he passed, he put a kind of contingency plan in place for Springbank, so that it was 3 different trusts owned it. I believe that's how it works. But basically, so that it just couldn't go down and into the wrong hands. And one of the trusts is that if people in from Campbelltown want to learn snowboarding or skiing, they can apply to this fund and get funding for it to learn snowboard or skiing in Campbelltown. So yeah, I thought that was quite funny, but quite a good idea, because unfortunately he didn't have any children of his own or anything like that, because obviously Springbank, Janie Mitchell is kind of passed down through the ages. But yeah, he didn't have anyone to pass it on, which I thought was a wee bit of a shame, a wee bit sad. But yeah, it seems like Janie Mitchell isn't going anywhere time soon. I have heard of a couple of the Campbelltown, the new Campbelltown distilleries that are to be struggling. I can't remember one. You also got Dalrator from North Star. Is one of them Witchburn, and I can't remember the other one. But I have heard that in the rumour mill that the three of them, whether it's going to be likely or not, I'm not too sure about Dalrator. But the other two, I think, are kind of struggling. But I don't know if that's just a sign of times that we're in, and the way that the industry's gone. Because I know that I'm spending a lot less this year, and have spent a lot less than previous years. I think COVID obviously was like a huge boom, or maybe not use the word boom, but COVID was definitely a height of sorts. People were buying a lot, and I know I was buying loads of whiskey during COVID because there was nothing else to do. But it does seem to have, pardon me, stabilised a little, slowed down a little, and that's anecdotal as well as checking the kind of sales of whiskey. It has kind of slowed down, but yeah, hopefully these distilleries do come to fruition, because this seat because having these distilleries in Campbelltown, my God, it would be great. Andrew was also telling us a story. I'm going to steal all his stories because I think they're so interesting. He was telling us that back in the 90s, maybe 95 or 98, that the Scotch Whisky Association, who regulate and legislise, some word, that word, regulate and legalise or whatever, basically regulate the Scottish whisky industry, the SWA, Scotch Whisky Association, yeah. Back in the 90s, they were going to declassify Campbelltown as a region and just have it under, I believe it was Highlands or something at the time. And Mr. Wright, who we're going to call him, was obviously raging about this. Was not happy, and one of the reasons that Kilkerran came to be a thing was because the Lowlands only had 3 distilleries, and because Campbelltown at the time only had Glen Scotia and Springbank, he basically said, well, the Lowlands have got 3 distilleries. If we have a third, can we be our own region? And yeah, they ended up granting the status of Campbelltown being a region. But it'd been interesting to see how that would have changed things. I wonder if Springbank would have done so well if it was just classed as a Highlands, or if the fact that it's got this own kind of, I don't know. I think it's a bit of an enigma, Campbelltown. It's such a weird place. Whether the status of that region helped it, because it is just weird, or whether if it was Highland, would it have prospered as much? I don't know. I'm just talking absolute garbage now, but I feel like if Campbelltown was classed as a Highland, if Campbelltown whiskies were classed as Highland whiskies, I don't know if Springbank would be the same in the sense of the stature it's got. I don't know. It just, Campbelltown gives you different connotations in my head. But yeah, I don't know. We're going to finish this. We'll open another one. I'm going to drink my beer. I'm going to open another one, possibly. We've been on the stream for an hour. Like I said, the fireworks are going off. I do want to make sure the dog and the cat are all good. We're not stopping there, but it won't be as long as normal, like in a 2-hour stream. It's a celebration. We've got the party, the party going on. But I basically wanted to say thanks. That was all this was for. I'm going to put it in a... Have I got water? Yeah, I've got water. Clean this glass out. Yeah, it wasn't anything to be too glamorous or anything like that. Just a simple stream. Let me see. Give this a little bit of a clean. Fireworks are still going off. What time are we actually on? It was at 8 o'clock. It's not too bad. It's not too late. But they're just annoying. I don't really get the appeal. I have been to fireworks shows in the past, obviously. And Louise's stepmom sent her parents up in a firework. That sounds funny out of context, but yeah, ashes. Like put ashes into a firework and send it up into the sky. A kind of crematation type thing. So yeah, they done that, and it was nice. But it was at a venue. It was out the way. Fireworks now, I don't know if it's just from having pets, but it just pisses me off. And it's obnoxious is probably the word, when people are setting them off in their back garden. And that does happen over here. I don't know if it happens elsewhere, but I just feel it's obnoxious. I suppose it in like America, the 4th of July, it'd be non-stop. But I understand why we're setting them off, Guy Fawkes and stuff, but does that mean we're celebrating the death of Guy Fawkes? I don't want to get too political, but no, you're right. Being Campbelltown does give it a different vibe. Yeah, I think so. There's something about the connotations of Campbelltown for me, and probably for everyone. The things that come to my mind about Campbelltown is definitely kind of council, because of the working class. But then you get the whiskey type of side of things, the industry type of side of things, like grimy, funky. But yeah, I feel like if it was just a Highland, that it might not have prospered as much. Springbank fireworks, seen them once, seen them 1,000 times. Yeah, it's a lot of money as well. I mean, it's a lot of money to buy whiskey and to drink it, but it's a lot of money just to set something up and watch it bang within the matter of seconds. Yeah, no, it's not really something that I'm too interested in or too keen about. So the last bottle I'm going to open is definitely a celebratory dram. This is a huge dram, by the way. I don't want to I don't want to big it up, but it's getting bigged up because this has quite a bit of sentiment to me, as well as price and as well as the whiskey that it is. So I can't remember when it was, for how ingrained it is in my memory. But me and the fiance, we toured. We were staying in Pitlochry. We basically love Pitlochry. We're basically living there. But we toured Edredour. We're staying in Pitlochry and we toured Edredour. It was a couple of years before COVID, just before it closed its doors, and I went into the signatory, the shop in Edredour, and they had all these signatory bottles, and there was loads of bottles, and this was the one that I picked was pretty expensive for the time, for what I had purchased at the time. I mean, I'd purchased pretty expensive bottles, but sorry, pardon me, but nothing as expensive as this. It's not that expensive now compared to what I've spent. I know I'm dragging this on. I might as well finish that just to drag on a bit more. Watch the viewers just drop. People just like, fuck off. Just tell us what it is. That was quite a good beer. But yeah, it's probably not as expensive as what I bought now. But it was £195 if my memory serves me correct. And I actually... Oh, there's a wee bit of sediment in it. Actually, I've got the receipt in the cylinder, so I should be able to tell you. But it's I bought it because it was distilled in 1995, which is my birth year. So this is one of the only bottles at the moment. The fact this is the only bottle in my collection that was distilled in my birth year. I think I can get my birth year pretty cheap still. Obviously, the older I get, the more expensive it's going to get. But I'll just die. It's a 1995 Clynleash. After going on about sherry for too much, this is a refill sherry, but which isn't too bad, but look how dark that is. It's a refill sherry, but basically what got me to buy this, or what pushed me to buy it, was the fact that it was a 1995 whiskey, which, as I said, was my birth year. And also, I really enjoy Clinleash. It's not, I say I really enjoy Clinleash, but it's not a whiskey I've had in my collection. I think this might be the second bottle that I've actually owned, or opened, should I say. I don't know if I've got any others. Sorry, I'm opening this plastic right next to the mic. I hate the plastic. I actually hate the plastic seals. But yeah, this might be the second bottle of Clinleash that I've opened. I don't know if I've actually got any more Clinleash in my collection, but I had a wonderful split with the Tabes guys, a 27-year-old from Rare Find. It was fantastic, and I do like a Clinleash. As I said, I just, for some reason, I don't buy it. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. As I burp again. Oath, yes, oath indeed. I'm really looking forward to this. I hope it's I hope it's everything that I've thought about, because it's just been sitting on my shelf, or sitting in my collection and on the shelf. I don't know if you can see. You can just see it in that light. The sediment, it almost looks like sugar or salt, but it's just cask shit. So I'm gonna give it a wee shake. Get all that goodness to the top. So it's 55.4% ABV. It's been sitting in the cupboard for a long time. Like I say, I think it was 2017 or 2018 that I bought this. I don't know if it's got a bottling stamp on it when it was bottled. Oh, bottled on 20th of July 2018. So I must have bought this 2018 or 2019. So we'll go for the pop, and I hope the cork doesn't crack. Nah, it's not going to crack. Right, here's the pop. Oh, I don't know if you could I don't know if you could hear that as well as I could hear it, but it was like oh, that's probably one of the best uncorkings I've had. That was that was that was tight. So yeah, we'll get this poured. I mean, there's a bit of there's not cork in it, but there's a bit of the residue around the lip of the bottle. So let's see what we got here. I've had some really good IB Clinleash, but I've not had many OB. Yeah, the 14, I have had like a miniature of the 14. The miniature of the 14 years ago, brilliant stuff. But yeah, as you say, not had a lot of official bottlings, but had a lot of independent bottles. 89.54 on Whiskey Base out of 199 votes. That's pretty good. That's a lot of votes. Let's see. God, this is going to be built up too much now. God. Aye. So this does have a lot of, let's say, sentiment. As I bought it with my fiance, when we were spending a night in Pitlochry in Old Mill, and we toured the distillery. And I remember her touring the distillery with me, and she's not into whiskey. She doesn't mind smelling it. But I remember just going down the distillery, and yeah, it was just a great weekend. It was perfect. And then picking this bottle up as well. Yeah, so let's let it sit for a while. We've hyped it up. Bart's hyped it up. I'm blaming Bart if it's too much hype. And I've got I've probably shown one of these before as well. It's a wee Weiss beer from Aldi. Pretty good price point from Aldi. So we'll get that in the glass. We'll let the Clinleash sit there. And I hope it's good. I've got high hopes. But yeah, I'm sure it was 2018, so 6 years ago, bought that whiskey, and it's just been sitting in the cupboard. And I sometimes kick myself, or maybe not kick myself, but I sometimes do feel bad when I look at my cupboard and I see all the whiskies that I've got, and I think, why am I not opening them, and why am I just buying more? But then moments like this, I mean, yeah, 1,000 subs. Speaking to you guys, and yeah, moments like this is good. It's a good place to open it, and that's the reason I hold on to some of these bottles. So you've got them to open on certain occasions. Oh, yeah. Aye, I don't know how German this is. It says premium German beer, and it says it's been brewed in accordance with the German Bavarian. Is it Bavarian law? German purity law. But I had a triple or a tripel. I don't know how you pronounce it. But I had one of those the other night, and it was Belgian style, made in France. So yeah, it could say German wheat beer, but then be made in Italy. But I've had it before, and it tastes fantastic. And I'm definitely looking forward to tomorrow. Cannot wait. Not saying too much about it. What a surprise some people, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. This is meaty. It's oh, but it's like I don't know. Meaty, and then it's somewhat delicate as well. Oh, I don't know. It probably could benefit for some water as well. Yeah. Yeah, please don't. Oh, do I want to add some water? I'm going to taste it first, and then I'll add some water to it. Unfortunately, the Seven Suns and the Springbank are getting a little bit outshined tonight. Outshined, overthrown, outperformed, whatever. Yeah, God, it smells so good. Oh. I feel like I'm over. I feel like I'm proper overdoing it. It tastes old as well. It's got that. It tastes a lot older than it is. And do you know what? It tastes a lot. Signatory's just good. It reminds me. I don't know how it reminds me of it, but I had a 37-year-old rare Ayrshire at the Malmaison in Aberdeen. I paid like stupidly like 27 quid for a dram of it, and it was perfect. It was one of the best drams, if not the best dram I've ever tasted. But there's something about that reminds me. This reminds me of that. Maybe just the quality. The quality's just. It's just great. The quality's. Aye. I'm going to add a wee bit of water to it. I just got some in my hands. But the quality's just. Signatory, no other stuff. Sorry, I'm having to concentrate as this. I don't want to add too much water to it and drown it. There we go. I think I might have just added a bit. I can always top it up. Get some of that. That'll be the last time you see me sucking on the camera. It kind of reminds me of that rare Ayrshire, and I'm not saying in taste, flavour, or anything, but just it must just be the quality. It seems a lot older. Aye. I'm going to just top it off a wee bit. That is good. There's that sucking sound. I don't know if it's because of the shape of the decanter. Just a wee touch. I think the water I added was just a wee bitty too much. But what a dram. I think Whiskey Base, the scoring on Whiskey Base was good. It's got a little bit of a, like I said, meaty, and then it's got a little bit of a sulphuric. Just a touch. I kind of want to see what the reviews on Whiskey Base say. I want to. Sometimes I do. I won't lie. Sometimes I do struggle for notes, and it takes me a couple of days. And it takes. Sometimes the power of suggestion helps, or just that realization, someone saying something. But there's definitely a touch, and I mean faint, sulphuric, kind of spent match. God, it's just such a quality dram. It's just the quality's there. I mean, the Springbank's good. The Seven Sons is good, and maybe better than good. Right? They're really good drams. This is just a different level. It's just, I couldn't tell you what it is. It's just better. It's just, yeah. The Springbank was what, £55. The Seven Sons was £40 odd, and this was £195. So you'd expect it to be, but sometimes you can be stung. Sometimes you can buy a whiskey, but. And the thing is, Bart, I'm going to speak directly to Bart as well. I didn't actually look this up on Whiskey Base. When I bought it, it was purely, I'm at Signatory or I'm at Edgedower. I am buying a Signatory bottle, 1995, birth year. That was the reasons for buying it. So basically, blind luck. Oh. Right, what we got? I really need to have a drink now as well. Yeah, you do. Moved on to a Glen Scotia and a dark mild. Nice. Which Glen Scotia have you got? Keen to hear. Oh mate, I could just smell this forever. That's a really good beer as well. I mean, it's not as good as the whiskey. But it's almost like Cheerios. See the we're just going to go into beer whims. The Cheerios you get, the cereal, it's such a sweet wheat note. But back to the whiskey. Aye, this is fantastic. Aye, cheers. Again, now that I've cheers to 1,000 subs. Cheers to everybody that watches and listens to me ramble all the crap. This is fantastic. God, I feel elated. No, I feel in two minds about opening it. I feel over the moon that I've opened it and that I've tasted it and tried it, but I also feel so gutted because it's not going to last. It's not going to last at all. Yeah. 1995, what a year. What date was it? 21st of November. Refill sherry butt. I'm just reading things on the bottle now. 601 bottles. Cask 11230. Oh yeah. I'm going to be smelling it for a while. 2024 Festival. Oh, I have not tried that. I think I've had the Ruby Port, the Tawny Port. I think that's it from the festivals. I might have had another one. You'd need to let me know what this year's festival is. But the festival bottlings are like, I'm not the biggest fan of Glen Scotia. We went to Glen Scotia when we were at Campbelltown. It was disappointing, the tour. Unfortunately, they were getting their washback renewed, or they were getting a brand new one, and the tour was a bit of a letdown. We paid £55 for the warehouse tasting, which was supposed to include a tour, and obviously we got the warehouse tasting, but because and you can't discredit Glen Scotia for this because they're doing work, but it'd still have been good to see the stills. I mean, the mash tun's nowhere near the stills, but yeah, they took us to 2 other warehouses, and that was kind of their treat, if you will, or what they were saying was, we're taking you here because we can't do the tour. Other people don't get to see these, but they were just warehouses. They're warehouses with casks in them, so it could have been any warehouse. And then the actual warehouse tasting itself, very disappointing. There was 1 or 2 drams. I think one was bourbon. In fact, both of them were bourbon, and I'm almost sure. But that I enjoyed, but the rest I didn't really get on with. And it's not just because it's Glen Scotia and it's not Springbank. It just, they weren't that good. Unfortunately, it was nothing like a Cadenheads tour or what a Cadenheads warehouse tasting used to be like. The Kilkerran warehouse tasting absolutely blew it out of the water. But on my original point, their festival bottlings nail it. They almost nail it every time. Their core releases, I don't mind the 15, I don't mind the Victoriana 18, I don't mind them. I wouldn't buy a bottle, but their malts festivals usually hit the nail on the head, and they're usually pretty good. So yeah, that's that's where I was going with that. Ever seen the Angel Shares film? Yeah, I've seen it maybe twice, but it's been a very long time since I've seen it. Don't tell me I look like someone out there, or I look like one of the junkies on the street. Yeah, I have seen it. I believe is it Bladnoch or Balblair? Balblair is it? It's one of the distilleries that they go to. Would it be Bladnoch? Bladnoch's so far down. It must be Balblair. But yeah, I have seen it. They put the whiskey in the ginger bottles, the Iron Brew, and I'm sure a couple of them smash it. But yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen that. They break into it, and isn't one a recovering addict, I believe. Let's see, 2024 festival bottles, 9 years unpeated Fino sherry finish. That's something I should have mentioned. I want to know how it is first of all. But they let us taste the new make spirit, which I don't believe they normally let you do, and because the distillery was closed, that's why they let us do it. And one was unpeated and one was peated. The peated new make, brilliant stuff, really good, really good stuff. So yeah, it'd be interesting to hear how that festival bottle is. Nah, you don't remind me of the actors. Well, that's poor. You're trying to say I'm not pretty enough for the screen, the TV screen. No, yeah, I have seen Angel Share's film. I need to watch it again, but yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen it. I can't remember how they get into the predicament, but it is like a bunch of I don't know how you would describe them. Are they all addicts? Are they all? Is it all like how did they get together? Is it all in like an addict anonymous, or it's like some sort of group like that? Kind of struggling youths, if you will, or struggling adults. But I have seen it, and it is a good film. It's nothing like Steven Spielberg or I was trying to think of directors now, and I can't think of any. But yeah, it's a decent film. I am blown away by this. They filled it at Balblair, Deanston, Angling, going, I did not know they filled it at the other two. I knew it was Balblair or Bladnoch, but I didn't know Deanston and Glengoyne. It makes sense to have several locations, but Deanston's a good warehouse tasting. I went to Deanston. I've done Deanston on my own. My dad and I, we cycled there. I think I have a video on YouTube about it. And yeah, he didn't want to cycle back or do the tasting, so he decided to get picked up because it's a bit of a treacherous cycle. It's not the majority of it. I'd say maybe 75% of it, you're off the road. You're kind of back roads and stuff, quite quiet. then 25% of it is national speed limit, 60 mile per hour on the road from where we are. So it was a little bit too much for him. But the warehouse tasting at Deanston was brilliant. Really enjoyed it. Glengoyne, I also cycled to that, funny enough, those two. Me and my brother cycled to Glengoyne, but it was kind of during COVID, and it was a PowerPoint presentation. They gave you drams to take away. The shop is ludicrously priced, way overpriced. I mean, some distillery shops are just like that because the tourists come in, but yeah, no. I wouldn't recommend Glengoyne to visit. I'd recommend Deanston. Never been to Ballablair, but Glengoyne, just purely on the experience we had. It's probably changed now, but I didn't really enjoy it. And that might have just been because it was COVID, but yeah, the shop is overpriced. This is just getting sweeter. Yeah, I can't wait to properly sit down with this. It's different on a stream. You almost feel a little bit of pressure to say how it tastes, what it smells like. But I can't wait to sit down and take some notes and truly appreciate it. I mean, I am appreciating it now, but I'll appreciate it so much more later. I don't mean later tonight. Jesus. It just... What percentage is it? 55.4? Is that what we said? I have added a little bit of water to it, but even before the water, it's just... What a dram. Just fantastic. What we saying? Glengoyne was outrageously expensive in 23 still when I was there. Aye, it's stupid. And chancers that we are, I'm not sure what the Dutch are like, Bart, but us Scots are very frugal. And I know I'm very frugal. So I tried to chance it and say that my brother and I have cycled from Falkirk. It's what is it? Oh, don't quote me. Possibly a 4-hour cycle. It was a long cycle. I mean, we wanted to drink, and we kind of we had a little bit of a drink. We did have the drams there, but because you're cycling, as soon as you get back on the bike when you're an hour away, it just sweats out you anyway. But I remember cheekily being like, "Is there, like, we've cycled here? Is there nothing you can?" And I know people have travelled so much further. There's people probably have travelled from China just to visit Glengoyne and stuff. But you think, I don't know, can we not have like a little Scottish, a completely discriminatory, racist card that just says I'm Scottish, I get a discount? Can we not have that? It just seems like that's how I'm trying to justify this thought process now. That's how expensive Glengoyne is. It's stupid. You look at Springbank and how far away it is to get to there, and how reasonably priced their stuff still is. It's bonkers. Recently got a 13-year-old SV bottle of Deanston distilled in 2008, 65.7. Holy shit. 65.7. Yeah. I do have a Deanston in the cupboard from Cadenheads. Green box done in rum, I believe. And it's just sitting there. I just don't know when I'm going to open it, or don't know the right moment. But Deanston I do like their spirit. I don't necessarily like all the official bottlings they do, but Deanston have a good spirit. You're definitely selling me on that bottle, Conleisha. Basically said, yeah, I don't have much notes about it. There will 100% be a review of it. Pretty much every bottle I open. The only time I don't review a bottle, or the only time I struggle to review a bottle, I think I've only done it once, is when someone very important's gifted it to me. And I don't want to make them feel bad. I did get in trouble. Sorry, I'm burping. It's all the wheat beer. I did get in trouble from my fiance the other day because I posted a post on Instagram from a bottle that my parents got me on the advice of my fiance, and I said how terrible it was. And I was asked to kind of reword it a little bit, but yeah. There'll definitely be a review of this. I don't want to sell you in a bottle of this because I don't know how much it is in the auction. I've not had a look. But if it's cheap, stay away from it. It's terrible. I'm just trying to see. There's maybe a wee bit of sediment in there. I don't know if it's cork or just sediment. But yeah, stay away from the bottle. Terrible, absolutely terrible stuff. If it's under £200, not worth it. Not worth it at all. But yeah, I'd probably have a bottle of this again. And I'm not even finished it, but it's one of those that you open and you regret straight away. Not because there's certain reasons you'd probably regret a bottle if it was terrible, but it's because it's just good, and once it's opened, that's it. You probably got that frugality from us, the Protestants, mate. Sour bunch, yeah, very sour. Also an 11-year-old SV Kalila. Yeah, Signatory do. I'm trying to think if I've had I've had a few bad drams from Signatory, but their cask selection just seems to be second to none. Them Cadden Heads. I mean, Thompson Bros. Don't get me wrong, Thompson Bros are absolutely great, but they're not on a level, and I don't think they would. I mean, I don't know them personally, but I don't think they would be pissed off, or they would disagree if I said they're not on a level with Signatory or Cadden Heads. I suppose that is obvious. Like, they're not as big a company or that, but they just don't have the casks that they have. And even Cadden Heads, I think, are starting to, I wouldn't say take a turn for the worse, but some of the whiskies, they're starting to bring out more not as good quality as they normally bring out. I'm not going to slate Cadden Heads because they're brilliant and their pricing's brilliant. But previously they had, it was like quality after quality after quality, and it was consistent, and it started creeping in a bit more. But Signatory just seem to hit the mark. They're brilliant. Their cask selection and Cadden Heads are on a par with them. But I have noticed, and it's probably because I'm buying more Cadden Heads. I don't buy as much Signatory as I do Cadden Heads, but I do feel like Cadden Heads are a little bit of a slip, but nothing that I would stop buying from them, of course, because they're one of the most affordable and best independent bottlers out there. A Kalila with a port finish, also a competent dram. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear a dram described as competent. I like being, yeah, I think that's a great word. I'm going to start using that in taste in my reviews, if you don't mind. It's a very adjective and quite definitive word, competent. Yeah, good, decent, fair. No, competent. It's a competent dram. I like that. I wish all. Yeah, I don't know. I don't mind. I know some of the, is it the SV ones? The SV ones come in this bottle, just like in a plain bottle. I don't mind that. You've got the, is that SV Signatory? No, there's two. I'm thinking of different Signatory maybe. I'm thinking of the, is it Signatory Vintage, like the silver tins? I don't know what that range is called, but they just have the normal bottles. I've got a Ben Nevis that's came in an hibiscus, but a more circular hibiscus instead of this oval hibiscus. I feel like I've hibisco. I don't actually like these bottles. I think they look cool. Don't get me wrong. I think they look very aesthetically pleasing. They're lovely. But they're a nightmare to pour from. I have poured this twice into this glass. I don't know if you can see that. There's a wee bit of something floating about. All you can see is my smudges. Anyway, I have poured this twice into I have poured this twice into the glass, and both times I'm getting liquid running down the edge or running down the side of the bottle, and I don't want that because I want as much in my glass as possible. So that's the only issue I have with these type of bottles. is you kind of lose a bit of whiskey, and every little bit counts. These bottles aren't too bad to pour from. No, it's not too bad. It's got I don't know why we're talking about bottles now. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Sorry if I got on too much about mice. No, it's no issue. Honestly, this is what we're here for. I would rather you tell me about stuff like that so that I can talk about stuff like that. Because then it's not just me rambling on and talking to the camera. It's actually us having a discussion, and other people can jump in if they want. Like Benny's speaking to you as well, so it's good. I'm enjoying this. It's a good thing. So yeah. I got in Farkas Christmas malt from 1990. I'll keep that code, whiskey base 74857, and I'll have a look. But yeah, I don't want to drink it. I just pour it back in the glass and seal it back up and pretend it's closed. Because I just feel like now when Stevie comes over, I want to give this to Stevie, and I want to give it to the guys at Cadenheads. I want to give them a sample of it. Will at Dunkeld, he needs a sample of this. The boys in the Tabes group, I just want to share it now because it's that good. But I wish it wasn't. But yeah, brilliant. Thank you very much. Currently drinking celebratory Clynleash 1995, so it's from my birth year. 22-year-old whiskey, and it's fantastic. It actually smells and tastes somehow older than 22. I would have said 30 plus. At least older than 25. I don't know. There's just something about it. It's maybe the quality of it, the luxuriousness of it, but it's also got that fusty, kind of old, not dunnage, but just old kind of musky element about it that you only really find in old and rare whiskies, or older whiskies. It's fantastic. Thank you. Aye, Deanston comes also in the same bottle as your class. See, yeah. I'm trying to think what the ranges are. So you've got Signatory Vintage. So that's a cash strength collection. Is these bottles? I'm trying to think what the silver tins are, but it's the different collections. The Signatory Vintage, I believe, is just the brand on a whole. I just feel like I keep getting seepage out of this. Oh, it's just from where it squeegees in. I really want to just stop the stream so I can hear that, hear the audio of me popping it for the first time again. I want to hear what that sounded like to you guys, because it sounded fantastic here. I don't want to say what it sounded like because it's a bit too crude, but it sounded fantastic. I'll let you just imagine what it sounded like, or what I'm thinking of, because I don't normally have drams on a work night, but I have to admit you guys are pushing the same buttons. Yeah, you don't have to. I do not condone drinking on a work night. I mean, I'm not working in the morning. I was going to go to the gym, but I think I'll be a bit tight for time tomorrow. But yeah, I'm not working, so I don't condone it. You don't have to have a drink, but this is fantastic. I don't want to keep drinking it. I'm going to drink some of the beer. It's just very good. Yeah. Yeah. It's actually rather annoying. It was my brother. We were at the gym yesterday, and he was asking me about it. For some reason, it's a topic of conversation. Maybe just because of how ridiculous it is. But I was saying how annoying it is. I've had to. I mean, it's not that bushy, but I'm having to get scissors and cut it because sometimes it grows up my nose, sometimes it grows into my mouth, and I don't know why I've got it. I'm pretty much at this point, I'm just so stubborn with myself that I don't want to shave it. I've got to a point where, like, this is me now. I'm a guy with a mustache. Yeah. Unchilled filter collection comes in the sub. Yeah, that's it. So you got Signa 3 Vintage Unchilled filter collection. Yeah, they bottles are easy to pour. You'll need to be able to Google. I mean, I could Google them now, but I don't want to be so rude. I don't know what it is, but her brother got me. I've reviewed it on my channel, a Ben Nevis, and it came in like a circular Abisco, however you say it, bottle. It had the big bit at the bottom, but it was more circular. But I can't remember what that collection was called. I need to find it because that was a good Ben Nevis. Has anyone had the Signy? No, but I do enjoy an Old Paltney. And what I will say about Old Paltney is, if you can get to Wick, it's not the easiest place to get to. It's not like Speyside or anything right in the middle. It's way up north. But if you can get to Wick, 100% tour Old Paltney. Great distillery. A little bit industrial kind of surrounding, but a beautiful distillery nonetheless. If you ever get Daniel on the tour, I will constantly name drop Daniel every time I talk about Old Paltney because he made the tour. Sorry, I need burp again. Wheat beer was such a bad idea. But he was a great tour guide. He matched our enthusiasm and our humour as well. And something I took away from there as well is the bioplant where they put some of their secondary produce. It powers the local community. Some of the local community that are struggling, who are on a lesser income or whatever. And yeah, I think that's great. So yeah, tour Old Paltney if you get to it. And they've got worm tubs. Yeah, pretty cool. Only have a pour on days at the end, and why? Yeah, I only have a pour on days at the end, and why? Yeah. I know the auto. Yeah, yeah. Auto check. Yeah. Only drink on the days that end in day. Yeah. That's me basically. When I grew mine, my wife banned me from the bedroom, mate. Can't believe your fiance isn't on your arse about it. Yours, I mean, I can't really comment on myself because, like I said, like I'm a pretty confident person, so it takes a lot for me to get down. And even looking in the mirror, and you would think I would get down, I don't. But no, yours was pretty rough. I can understand why she banned you. No, it's not. I think it will get to a point. I think it will. Old Paltney from IBs, not just from SV, are extremely hard to find it here in Denmark, especially. I've had a couple independent bottles. Stevie's got the old and the kind of in the cylindrical case that looks like this, that kind of shape. He's got the old bottlings of the 17-year-old and the 21-year-old, and they are absolutely fantastic. I much prefer the 17-year-old somehow. But yeah, Old Paltney, good drams. Even our 12-year-old, it's not special, it's not amazing, but it's a solid whiskey, completely solid. Had a more like 20-year-old that came in a round silver box. Signature bottle Ben Nevis 8-year-old and these are biscuit. Edgedour also used them. Got a bourbon Edgedour also within the bottle. The newer ones are coming in black cylindrical boxes, or black cylindrical tins that are not these ones, but ones that are almost like this shape, but like a little bit thinner, just a touch thinner, but still got the heavy glass at the bottom. Oh, are they? Oh, that's interesting. Going to discontinue the use of those. That'd be a bit of a shame. I do like I said, I do like the oval ones aesthetically. They're not great to pour, and I can imagine them being quite expensive. I don't think there's a need for them. Right. Back to this. I mean, when I'm drinking beer, I feel like I get a little bit sleepy, and then I take a sniff of this, and I don't want to fall asleep. The energy just comes back because it's like describe it. I've used this analogy before, but like Popeye with spinach. He eats the spinach and he'll go doo 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 doo, gets all muscly. That's what this is like smelling. It's just I don't know if that makes sense. It just completely perks me up. God, it's fantastic. I'm trying to think if it is a little bit dirty, like just a touch. It's definitely got a kind of fusty element to it, like a little bit of age. But I'm trying to think if it has got a little bit of a, just from the sherry. Like I said, that struck match, that sulphur almost, but I'm so glad I opened that. God. I've got an 18-year-old, or is it a 17-year-old? Same bottle, exactly the same look. It's the Speyside with the M on it, the brackets, Speyside bracket M, and it's Macallan. 17-year-old, I believe. I think the 18-year-old came out later, but it's a 17-year-old. And I bought it because it was Macallan, I'm not going to lie. But because of the price as well, I think it was only 150. I thought it was a good price for a 17-year-old sherried Macallan. But I don't think it's going to stand up to this. I don't know if I would describe this as waxy. I usually get like quite a waxy note in Clinleash. It's definitely meaty, 100% meaty, oily. Waxy is a little bit different, but I don't really get the waxiness in this. It's just, aye. It's just, I was almost going to say, there was something a bit fishy, but not bad. Nothing off-putting. There was just something. But aye, brilliant. I really want to pour more of it, but it's, what are we? We're 5 minutes from 9. I've got a bit to do tomorrow, and like I said, the fireworks are going off. They've settled down now. But I didn't want to take the piss and go too long and leave my fiancée down there having to deal with the pets because they're stressing out. But if it wasn't for that, I would definitely pour another dram of this because it's just fantastic. It's just, I don't want to finish. I don't want to finish it in the sense that, it's just fantastic. It's so good. Mark Evans, he recommended me his channel, and Ralphie's and claimed he was a good friend of yours. Mark Evans. I hope I'm going to completely ruin my credibility when I can't think of that name like that. Mark Evans. I know an Ian Evans. Mark Evans. Possibly. I don't want to say no. Mark Evans. I maybe know a Mark and then don't know the second name. That's probably the issue. But I'm glad, whoever he is, that he recommended me from Ralphie's channel. Ralphie, I've got a lot of time for Ralphie. I mean, he is a class A gob. He can talk for Scotland. I've met Ralphie a couple of times. I remember the first time I met him, and I mean, I know I'm talking, and I've been talking for almost 2 hours. He couldn't get me shut up. And it's not a bad quality at all. He's a great guy. Got a lot of time for Ralphie, a lot of time for what he does. And in person, he comes across as a very good guy, very sensible person. And a lot of time for charity and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm all for that. But yeah, I'm glad I was recommended in a Ralphie chat, because yeah, like I say, I've got a lot of love for Ralphie. Him and Roy, I enjoy Roy. I'll be happy to admit it. Like I've more time for Ralphie, but Roy's fine. There's no issue there. But him and maybe digging myself a hole here. Him and Roy were why I wanted to start Whiskey YouTube as well. I thought they were doing a great thing for Scotland, a great thing for Whiskey, and they've done pretty well creating a community for sure. So I'm glad that I can be my individual self on that as a part of it almost. I wouldn't say I'm a part of it, but I'm almost a villain, as someone described earlier with the moustache. I'm almost a villain in the scenario. Roy and Ralphie. Ralphie can be the Superman. Roy can be, I don't know, Flash. And I'm probably Lex Luthor. That's how I would describe it. That's how I describe myself. That's DC. If we're going for, sorry, I'm a big comic book nerd. If we're going for Marvel, Roy's not Spider-Man. Ralphie's Captain America. I don't know why I'm getting a cow at this. And Roy is, I'd say Roy's Mr. Roy's Mr. Fantastic. Reed Richards. And I would happily align myself with Doctor Doom. Yeah, I'm the Doctor Doom in the whiskey world. I want that. I want to be Doom. Fuck's sake. I'm actually crying. I don't know why. Just thinking of that. Thinking of Ralphie with a shield. Oh, this is so stupid. And Roy with big long arms. Fuck's sake. Oh, right, I'm so sorry. Oh, fucking hell. Right, if there's anything to go by, that's how good this whiskey is. It makes you ecstatic and hallucinate, almost to a point of ecstasy. Anyway, you're getting a bit pissed. It's funnily enough. I just think I had a bit of a giggle fit. I know you should see me when I'm pissed. That's not a good sight. Luckily, I can handle my drink. I definitely say I've had a drink, but not pissed. But I'll happily go for the villain of the whiskey community, the whiskey world, the whiskey YouTuber. I'll go with Joe Dalton. Yeah. So that's been it. That is a celebration. I kind of want to show that video again in case anybody missed it. I don't know how many people would have seen it at the start. If there's new people came in, 11 people have witnessed that, Stu. Yeah. Not good. Not good at all. I'll just drink my beer. I heard that when you get a little bit tipsy, that the more you drink, the more it reverses it. Yeah, I was going to show the video of everybody congratulating me on the 1,000 subscribers. But as I said at the start, twice, because the first time the microphone wasn't working, it's thanks to the people that actually watch. And it's mental to think, it is a weird thing. When I was saying to my fiance, Stevie, almost father-in-law, my brother and that, like when you got like, I'm not saying 1,000 people watch all the time, because that's not the case. But when you've got 1,000 people subscribed to the channel wanting to listen to you, it does feel somewhat good. You've either got something valuable to say, or they're hoping that you'll make a tit of yourself at some point, like I've done plenty of times, and will do 100 more times in the future. Yeah, Ralphie could be a villain, or he could be some sort of ninja hero, master of shadows, world class assassin. Yeah, he could be some sort of advocate from the Hand or something. Anyway, I'm getting too into comic books now. And villain hero. I'm going to show this video game. That I apologise if you have been here and seen it. But I do appreciate the effort that's went into this video from the people that contributed, and I want to show it again because I appreciate the people taking their time for putting it together. I mean, well, they sent the videos in and I put it together, so really I appreciate my time that I spent putting their videos together. But nonetheless,
Whiskey Wims has made it to 1,000 subs. Who would have thought? Anyone out there? Hello? Did anyone? Anyone? I've got no replies. I don't think anyone thought he would make it to 1,000 followers. Whiskey win or whiskey bin. I like the sound of the letter, the whiskey bin style stuff. You've done it. Woohoo! Party for you. Congratulations to our stew.
Congratulations to Whiskey Wims on reaching 1,000 subscribers. Well done, mate, whoever you are.
Here, do you remember Stuart Whiskey Wims?
Yeah.
See, he's finally had 1,000 subs.
Oh, didn't he start before you?
Yeah, but nobody could ever understand what he was talking about.
Whiskey Rims. Yeah, he's just always looking for free stuff. Definitely never comes into the shop, bringing us amazing drams from incredible bottles that he's opened and just shares them and doesn't expect anything in return. Definitely never does that.
Yeah. So before I go, Kev, a lot of time for Kevin. I first met Kev in the Scotch Gantry, and just going into the Scotch Gantry, a whiskey shop in Stirling that I won't go in anymore because Kevin's not there and their pricing's a little bit mental. But Kevin made it all the better, and he did give me a little bit of discount, even though the discount brought it down to about what the price he should be. But yeah, a lot of time for Kev. Really nice guy, great guy. He's cousins with Roy. Most people might know that. Justine, yeah, Fife Whisky Festival. I think actually Jim was probably second, but Justine, Fife Whisky Festival. If you're ever in Scotland, if you're ever in, Bart's been to Fife Whisky Festival. I don't know how many of you have been to it, but it's a great festival, run by great people, and they do stuff for charity as well. And yeah, it's just good. Jim, I remember I first started my YouTube thing, and then Jim was doing his stuff on Instagram. He was doing live kind of things on Monday nights, and then he decided he wanted to have a go at YouTube. And I remember me and Jim talking about it and stuff. And yeah, Jim's brilliant. A genuine guy and such a great guy. I feel like I just say they're all great, but yeah, Jim's brilliant. Will at Dunkeld, what a great shop. Just gonna say great. What a brilliant shop. An extensive range of independent bottles at that shop. And when I do that series of recommending shops and discussing or interviewing shop owners or whatever, people that work at shops, whatever that series looks like, Will definitely be there, because I've done a tasting with Will before. I have only done one, to be fair, but anytime we're up that way, when you drive up to Pitlochry, we pass Dunkeld, so I always try and go in and see Will and the team, because like I said, they've got a fantastic range. I would say, I could be wrong, I mean, I don't own the shop, I'm not there all the time. I mean, I'm there quite a lot, but not all the time. But I would say like 75% of the shop is independent bottles, maybe more. Like, it's all independent bottles. It's mental. It's not Acad and Heads. Like, it's not like that's what they're known for, is independent bottles. It's just that's what they stock. It's brilliant. So it's good to see. And then who did we have? That's it. I did ask, and I might receive a video at some point, and I'll just need to say that we're too late. But I did ask Andrew from Springbank. He was looking to get to his bosses, because unfortunately he has to ask the higher ups if he can be in a video, because it's his job. And then I did ask Hazel from Daft Mill. I didn't actually ask Francis. I was wanting Hazel. I was wanting his wife. Not wanting his wife, but wanting his wife to do a video. Because yeah, anytime you get to Hazel at the Fife Whisky Festival, she bakes a fruitcake. She's just brilliant. And I love Francis as well. But yeah, they're busy. They're farm people, and I'm not going to discredit that. They're constantly busy. But it would have been good to have. It would be good to have them, or at least have Hazel pop up in a video. But yeah, she did say she was going to get a video done, but I've got no issue with them not doing that, because I know how busy they are. I mean, Daft Mill was pretty much a secondary product to what they do, and what they're supplying for the UK, if you will, with farming and stuff like that. Let's get a few comments through before I go. Ralphie seems to be the main enemy of the industry. We still need many more enemies. Yes, he is. Maybe with the community and yeah, he's maybe softening up a little bit. Maybe not towards the industry, but yeah, I understand. He's definitely an advocate for wanting things done right, and that's what I appreciate about Ralphie. Wanting things transparent as well. 1,000 people, it's a lot. Comparison, yeah, it's a lot. Wanting his wife, yeah. Right, so thank you very much once again. If you've joined and left, that's no issue. If you've been here from the start to finish, that brilliant. I hope you've enjoyed me talking and yous talking, and me having a bit of a fit at thinking about the whiskey community as superheroes. Now all we need is an artist, and we'll have a comic book. So yeah, appreciate your time. Thank you again for watching Whiskey Whims, the channel that was basically created so I had something to do. And yeah, I hope it's went well. So yeah, thanks again. I keep saying thanks. Yeah, we're gonna go. That's it. It's the end of the stream. What do you say at the end of streams? Cheers. Woohoo!